So this fireside chat, it's as forward-thinking as it is exciting. The future workforce, entrepreneurial opportunities in AI and ML education. We're talking about the skills of tomorrow and the big opportunities hiding in plain sight. What happens when cutting-edge tech meets entrepreneurial spirit? This session is about how AI and ML education can spark innovation, create careers, and maybe even redefine what the workforce really means. So buckle up. This is the future served with a side of bold ideas. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Ranjit Singh and Alexandra Kamenev.
One, two, three. At least this works. Maybe they will fix it. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining this fireside speech, which I want to start from the bare idea that AI brought to our lives. We don't want to be doing dishes while AI is painting pictures or creating articles. We want the AI to be doing dishes while we create pictures and articles. And this is what we can start from. So my name is Kamenev Alexander. I am a CEO of Nerdheads, a custom business software development company. And what we do is we help businesses to solve these particular problems in their domains.
And hi, I'm Ranjit. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Fromex. This is a recent entrepreneurial journey which I've taken, and previously I have done some of those mid or the large size companies, but I don't want to talk about those. Especially Fromex focuses on AI and what can be leveraged from AI agents. And additionally, it also helps to get these small to medium scale businesses to get AI up and running and be ready for the future.
Okay, so how do we solve this problem when we have a workforce and people who doing inefficient work, or how can we educate them in using the AI or ML, helping them improve, be more efficient?
So one of the common problems which I've been noticing as I started looking into especially machine learning and AI was, okay, so we are in the 21st century, and can we do this efficiently? Or can machine learning replace all the different kind of work we do? As we started stepping into this problem statement, and I started to look into it, it kind of reminded me of how internet was born. And how people were impacted during the internet era. Especially when internet was launched, a lot of people working in post constantly kept on saying that we will lose our work, or email's going to completely replace our day-to-day posting. Where even till to this date, we do have different kind of posting, different kind of postcards being sent, and it adds personal touch to this. So first of all, AI is not going to replace the whole workforce, and I think that is something nobody should be scared of.
Well, it's a bit scary, isn't it? Because it's another revolution where we switch from typing machines to computers. When the internet was introduced, and now AI is introduced, it's a technological revolution, and it's essential for it to be scary a bit.
So the fear, like, again, I think it goes into fear. And then we start looking at a future as more grim than looking at it as more of a positive outcomes. So one of the initial fear people had when internet was introduced was oh my God, this is going to change everything. And as we are doing this physical manual labor, basically having brick and mortar stores or having any kind of offline stores is going to impact us badly. In fact, it has done opposite of that. And this is something we as humans have an issue with. If we look at something as short term versus looking at long term, we often look at something as short term and we are very resistant to that change. And that's what's happening with AI right now.
Yes, yes, exactly. This is the situation when we don't see the trends for the big future, but something which is upcoming into 1 year or 2 year may be a bit scary and confusing. But generally, right now, most of the businesses and most of the, especially entrepreneurs, they use AI on daily basis, and it helps them to evolve. And I know companies who scale their sales introducing AI to the sales managers who oversee other managers. And essentially, if you do thousands or even hundreds of calls, if you have like 10 or 12 people doing calls every day, it's very hard to listen to all of those calls and to analyze what the sales representative is talking about. But you can introduce AI to this problem, and it can transcribe all the conversations, and then it can analyze if those conversations are aligned with the script and with the expectations. And then the sales manager, they can understand how to go and improve the performance of sales representatives. So it actually helps to improve the conversion, and it's not an enemy of an employee, but it's a friend, it's a helper.
Yeah, so yes, I do agree with this. One of the common pattern which I've seen, especially in the technology industry, anytime there is a new technology gets launched, we often try to do business with it first. So instead of solving core problems in our infrastructure or our day-to-day work, we first try to make things sell first. So when internet was born, the first thing we did was how can we run ads on this? Now when AI is born, the first thing we are looking at is how can we run better sales on top of this technology. And we often get Ubers of this world by 10 years into this journey. So Uber was born in the late 2000s, and instead of we could have expected this one in early 2000s. What it is doing is automating taxis. And that's what we are looking into AI also. Like the first, as I go upstairs and I look at the different stalls which are out there, everybody is focusing heavily on AI. So I can see AI and sales, customer support together. Like that's the one sentence which is very easy to find. It's very hard to find AI which is doing fuel efficient, helping you with fuel efficiency. It's very hard to find AI which is helping you to run businesses efficiently, not with sales, but internal efficiencies which reduces carbon emissions. This is something we are expecting as the second round of companies which will be spun out of AI generation. But I believe that the first round will be completely based on automating sales, improving productivity in sales, and there will be some outliers, which is to make sure that the information is easily accessible for people to do research and maybe even do further sales.
Yes, exactly. And going back to the topic of this conversation, we have to embrace the way to introduce how we educate our employees and how we improve our internal processes, introducing AI not to the customer-facing roles, but to something more internal and something which can improve the performance of the people, improve the performance of the company, because after all, when the day is done, it's people talking to people. It's not people talking to the AI all of the time. Sometimes you need a person on the other end of the phone to share some emotions or just to understand your feelings.
Yeah, so definitely that applies to every action we do. So especially as I named my company as FromX, the name wasn't suddenly just appeared inside my head. It actually came from a biblical term called from X comes good deeds. And I was heavily influenced by this title, which Google used to carry a long time back when it was born, don't do evil. And if you remember Google from the early era till 2008, they always had this one in their title, that don't do evil. And that was the most explosive stage Google had during that era. They were the most innovative company. They were the most internet front facing company, which made people adopt internet easily. Um, so now the second part, as it comes in, is comes to what it takes to make a decision. Uh, we as human beings run on two quotients, intelligent quotient and the emotional quotients. And let's say AI can help us with the intelligent quotient, but the EQ is something we always need. Uh, we are, and especially I'm working in this AI, agentic AI field where we are able to generate responses which are extremely emotional to the customer, very much customized to the personal nature, but it still does not have that personal touch a human being would have. It's equivalent of having a word which is similar to, if fear is spelled inside a sentence and being shown to you versus it comes from within. And that's what a human connection can bring.
Yes, in this particular domain, there are a lot of startups nowadays emerging, and there are a lot of AI aggregators which try to influence the emotional field, and they advertise as we have an AI agent or we have a solution that will fit exactly to your needs and that will choose the right tone or the right approach. We will understand the personality of the client or the person we are talking to, and we will adjust our wordings to better fit their needs. But at the end of the day, it's artificial, and AI, it doesn't have consciousness. It's only a pattern which connects word to each other on a certain fine-tuned way, but it doesn't have feelings, and it is a big illusion when we talk to AI in a way like, hey, hello, how you doing? Can you please tell me that and that? It's just our common way of talking. Anyway, we're talking to the machine. And this is a very important part of education, because we can not only bring the AI technologies into education itself and improve the pace of education, the quality, the feedback, and the way the education done, but we have to educate people how to use AI and how to properly use the technology and the advancement it provides.
Yeah, so one of the common things which I've been noticing, especially in the uh, day-to-day work with different fields have, so especially looking at a salesman or somebody who's working in sales. Um, it's they spend majority of their day in preparation, and then that impacts their time to have customer calls. And especially for every call they end up preparing, we design these smart CRMs which will help a salesperson to really have really impactful calls. This is something which can be improved through AI, but we cannot improve the direct call the person is having. So their tone of their voice, what kind of questions they are asking, how they are asking those questions, how these questions are really impacting the customer. Those, those aspects of direct cues, reading somebody's face, it's a very much a human skill which has evolved over millions of years. AI can pick up certain big emotions, but it has harder time picking very, very small emotions, especially subtle changes in tone and voice. Um, and this is something which has been constantly being researched, but what we're trying to get to is in the next 5, 6 years, I don't think so that we will ever get to a stage where we have AI bots which are reading emotions. In fact, we will have higher failure rate in sales or human related activities if we add a bot versus having a human, a co-pilot.
The line options happen 26.
Polite, uh, web, other
Is built to the watch. So in the video, the bots can without single
yeah, equivalent uh, person who actually it happens in doing comes to people to emotion product let's say, and it motivate like per and to trust has product not good at I find out identity to score of
when there was the last championship this summer, they had that AI feature on the match, and it was playing one country over another. I don't remember, and they said that AI prediction was 89% that the first country will win, but actually the second country won the match, and the AI prediction was absolutely rubbish.
yeah.
So it's not super reliable.
Yeah, so it's it's interesting. So I think like the reason why I say it's an interesting because AI is one of those topics which even the world experts are confused by this because they build something and then it's like we know that it's leading to somewhere, but we don't know exactly where it will take us.
Yeah,
And
there are no guarantees
yeah.
what it will come up with and how reliable the result will be.
Yeah. So again, coming back to the workforce question when it comes to this, so one of the things which I can concretely say is any function you are working with. So I used to previously work in big enterprise, and I noticed that my software engineers who were working with me uh, could not leverage AI fully, even though they were given access to this. It's equivalent of how efficiently can you navigate Google search. So we started doing courses for them to do prompt engineering well. And we noticed that there was definitely an increase in productivity. This is something we can do as of now. I'm also very confident on in the next 5 6 years that is something which is going to pick up more, especially when it comes to different functions. So it does not just apply to software engineering, it applies to product management, to even marketing, that how efficiently they can talk to the AI and generate the right productive outcomes?
Yes, I believe that this challenge will still be with us for a while now, and I don't expect it to escape because pretty much obvious how the results are produced depends on the model, and there are different ways of building the models. But if you use the general approach, most likely it's very synthetic and it doesn't have the valid data to operate with. And if you ask the question just in the wrong wording or in the wrong tone, it can understand it in a different manner and the result will be confusing. That's why educating the employees or people who work in the company how to efficiently navigate the AI space and how to use the even ChatGPT might solve a lot of problems and save some time. So if we, for example, get back to marketing, there are strategies which are applied by, I believe, most of the marketing agencies right now because they are super efficient. And what they do is they do the reverse prompt engineering. So they ask in the single chat, they ask for creating an advice. Then after advice, creating maybe creative or marketing content, and then they ask that bot to put pros and cons. Then they ask the bot to change what is cons and what has to be changed, and then they ask to compare. So when you do this loop of changes inside of a single chat, it helps to improve the results efficiently, and it doesn't take a lot of time, and the percentage of glitches and hallucinations reduce dramatically.
Yeah, so one of the, and this is why I'm calling it prompt engineering. Like it is a form of engineering, maybe not in the traditional sense, but in the modern sense, it's a form of engineering a model or asking the right queries. We see this pattern. So I've seen the similar pattern before, especially with SQLs or databases actually. So where we have this like SQL black magic concepts like that, where there are these folks like who can write these amazing SQL queries which can generate and change data in different manner. In the near coming future, this is going to, prompt engineering is going to be one of those skills which is going to become one of the core skills we'll be looking in people. And one of the entrepreneurial opportunities which I can see is how it's not only, I think, teaching courses and programs, it's more to do with how can these prompts be made better.
Yes, how the prompts can be made better, more efficient, and how can we use the more appropriate models? Because it's not only the prompt, it's the model you use which affects the results.
Yeah, and companies are training their own models now. Like one of the biggest changes which I'm seeing is it's not just OpenAI doing their model and Claude, which is again ex OpenAI folks starting with their basically Anthropic building a next set of models. There is a constant change in this field where it's easier to train a model on your data and your customized information than to use an off-market model and then try to retrofit to your own custom needs.
Yes, this makes sense because training model on the custom data right now is getting more and more easier, and I believe that there is a trend for 2025 and 2026 where there will be specific software like they exist right now, but they're pretty much low code or requires some Python knowledges. And I believe that it will be developed interfaces where you can just upload your data and the fine tuning will be happening in the more human-like way, where every person without super big technical background will be able to do this. Because right now, if you want to fine-tune or train an AI model to suit your particular needs, it's a pretty much challenging situation. It's not easily done, and it requires time, skill, and knowledge. And what I think is an entrepreneurial opportunity here for the future is to be able to fine-tune the data, the model which you can use inside of your business that is specifically driven by your business, by your data, by your approach, by your tone of voice, and this will save you from being just a voice in the crowd. Because if like two people on different places on Earth will put the same prompt into ChatGPT, most likely they will get almost the same result from it.
Yeah. So other set of problems which also comes along with this is localization. Uh, I recently learned a new language called German or Deutsch. Um, and something I noticed is language changes the way we think. And if you have learned a completely new language, the way the logic works in that language is completely different. That also means that large language model has language in their names. That means they're trained on a logic which was defined by the language they started out with.
Yeah, and the culture, because Japanese people, for example, Indian, they spell differently. They think differently in terms of the language and phrases, how you formulate the sentence. And since the AI has been trained more historically on the English language, it's challenging for Chinese, for example, to adopt it. That's why they mostly use their own languages, and the models they developed and taught on the internal alphabet and data.
Yeah, and that is creating another set of opportunities for language teachers to actually now they're becoming model trainers because that's how they can increase their impact. The third one, which I've been kind of looking into as more of an opportunity or a way of solving problems, it's actually our mindset change. Um, Most of us are very much tuned to solving a problem in the logical sense, how hunters and gatherers used to solve. So let's say, oh, today I'm hungry. I will go to the forest and I will kill something and then cook it and eat. That
Why kill? Maybe collect something.
yeah, like I'll go and like basically now we'll go to McDonald's and then get a burger. But our brains are very much designed in a way that which is very solution oriented, and that's how human beings have survived. And it's very very hard for even for leaders to delegate. Like it is more of an evolutionary problem than it is a skill problem. Uh, and if you ask anybody, whom do you trust the most? Their first answer is myself.
Well, if you go to psychic clinic, they may have been different answers there. Uh, so, this being said, concluding our fireside session is that in the domain of future success and future efficiency, it's very important to compete with competitors, with rivals, and there are always companies, startups, young people, and people who want to embrace new technologies. They're always there, and they're not sleeping. And at the same time, we have co-workers, co-partners, employees, professionals who are doing their job, but they can do their job more efficiently if they use AI technologies in it. And it's our choice if we make them, like if we even sometimes even make by force to use the AI, and we of course have to educate them how to use it and improve the processes and improve the efficiency, or just stay in the old-fashioned way and lay behind. Well, sometimes old-fashioned way is the best, but everybody has to decide for their own business and situation.
Yeah, so definitely. So whenever we are trying to solve a problem, we are normally looking at two opportunities, and especially when it comes to well, AI and machine learning is the kind of like the same thing. Machine learning is a small part of AI, but what it means is approaching problems with AI first mindset and seeing that in case if it is possible to solve this problem through an AI automation, then instead of human automation which is optimized by AI. Both of those two solutions look very, very different in the way you are approaching a problem. Uh, the first, so let's say giving an example. So suppose you want to do certain kind of delivery optimization, which means that Amazon wants to deliver packages across Dubai. One of the classical examples for this would be, are they first training a model and then having that model decide which one is the optimal places to deliver boxes to, versus designing an algorithm which delivers the boxes and then looking to improve the efficiency of that algorithm. And AI first approach is to start training a model and then tuning that model for the long run. And even as I say this, like the first one does not look like the right solution, but that's the mindset change we need to have in the near coming future, because all the young folks who are going and starting AI companies and disrupting the market, they are doing this every day.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do, and this is a good example you're talking, because one of my biggest projects is delivering Amazon packages all over the place in the USA, and we don't use any AI technologies in that process because there are too many parties involved. There are too many carriages, deliveries, airlines, and warehouses involved in the process that the old-fashioned way, the old API reliable data send is the most efficient approach here. But those factories who do the labor job, who do the delivery themselves, like truck drivers, or I don't know what how do they establish their warehouse system, they have to embrace the AI because it's improving how many packages they can ship per given time.
Yeah, so it always improves with the data we have, because your model is as good as the data you're starting out with, and it is a hard problem. Like it's in computer science we call this problem as NP hard, like one of the hardest problems to solve. It's if traveling salesman rings any of the bells, it is the traveling salesman problem, and this is where the machine learning models were designed for. Originally, that was the case. We as people have found out new methodologies to solve this on our own, and that's where these problems kind of lie as of now. As I'm looking into the next 5 to 6 years future, we will be solving problems which were in this NP hard, NP complete regions, like optimizing for delivery, making sure that sentences have the right kind of grammar. So improving upon existing writing, which is also one of the computer science problems. Um, and that's where we are in this particular stage. So opportunity-wise, thinking AI first will always benefit you over the long run, but a short-term solution is always going to be efficient in this case.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you, Rajit.